This is Justin.
And this is Haley, and you're listening to The Price of Avocado Toast.
We're a married millennial couple wanting to normalize conversations about money. We want to hear about your highs and your lows,
The do's and the don'ts on your path towards financial freedom. Hi Toasties, welcome to Price of Avocado Toast.
Whether you're a first-time listener or you've been following us from the start of this thing, we're so glad to have this conversation with you today.
It's almost over. This year is literally almost over, and I feel like it just started.
It has literally flown by.
We spend our New Year's Eves. We're going to recap this in next week's episode, but we spend our New Year's Eves making a poster, basically like a dream vision board.
Yeah.
And last year, we wrote hashtag debt-free2021.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we're actually not debt-free, but I wrote that on there with the intention of selling our house and paying off all of our debt. And it's just kind of funny how things have panned out. But, you know, there was only one person at Hopefully Frugal on Instagram who was like, debt-free 2021. You know, I don't know if that's possible with your numbers. And that was before I actually announced that we were going to sell the house. So good job, Donna Jean. You caught on to my little hint right there.
Yeah, it's exciting looking back at that and just thinking, you know, all of the growth that we've had this year and like all of the mindset changes and all the ideas behind financial freedom and independence and wealth management and just how our mindset has totally changed just within the last 12 months. And credit to all of the people that listen to the podcast and all the people we get to engage with on social media that, you know, kind of help us shape our lens and what we want moving forward for our family and for ourselves and our careers and our journey. So it's been a really eventful 12 months. It's just been really fun.
Yeah, you guys have been there for us for a lot this year.
A lot.
So this episode, we're going to kind of recap some of the big moments that we experienced this year. But first, I have a couple things to touch on. The first one is the reason we are not hashtag debt-free 2021 is because we withheld on paying off our student loans because we just wanted to wait and see. We wanted to wait until October when the payments kicked in. JK, October didn't happen. Okay, we were going to wait until February until they kicked in. Well, now that's not even happening. So breaking news, Biden has extended the student loan pause until May 1st. And I don't know, for some reason I just think that's not the end. I think there's something else coming, and I don't know, maybe I'm just wishful thinking, but
I think that the pressure from the progressive side of the political spectrum is slowly going to start to weigh pretty heavy. And I think Biden and, you know, his strategists will probably realize that if he doesn't do some kind of loan forgiveness or cancellation of some kind, that Democrats will probably be slammed pretty heavy in the midterms.
100%.
And so as a self-preservation tactic, more so as a, you know, wanting to retain power or control power through the midterms, I think Biden will do some kind of cancellation. I don't think it will be 50,000. I don't think it will be outright cancellation like some are asking for. I think we'll probably see something like $10,000 cancellation for, you know, public loans. Private loans, unfortunately, won't, which is unfortunate. But I think that this just kicking it down the can further to May is kind of tipping towards, okay, at some point there's going to be some type of cancellation.
There's a lot of miscommunication with what actually was said on the campaign trail and what's happening now. I think a lot of people are under the impression that Biden said he would get rid of student loans completely, and he actually never said that. His campaign was entertaining the idea of forgiving $10,000 per borrower, and that's a lot of freaking money. It was not the $50,000 that some people think. It was not everything. But at $10,000, even for just us, that's $20,000 from the big bucket of money that we have set aside for student loans that we could put towards our next down payment on a house. That's a lot of money. So I just hope that it's something.
Yeah, I think more importantly, even if he chooses to not cancel anything, I think what should probably change within the student loan realm is that you shouldn't be allowed to make interest on these loans past a certain percentage, right?
Mhm.
Maybe you cap it at, okay, loans are subject to a $5,000 interest charge and that's it, and it never goes above that. Because we see borrowers who are making minimum monthly payments end up paying the exact amount of loan back and then owe more than when they started because of the high interest rates or even just the interest rates in general. So I think that maybe if there's some type of a cap to the interest that student loans can accrue, that would be almost better than like the 10th. I mean, I shouldn't say almost better because $10,000, would be a real treat for some folks. But I don't know. There's a bunch of different ways you can look at it.
I have a client, and these numbers I'm just pulling out of airspace from my memory. But she opened a student loan in 2007, and I think the original loan amount was like $12,000. And since 2007 until 2021, she'd paid like $15,000 on the loan, which is more than it was originally worth, and still owed almost the entire loan amount, like
Wow.
the original loan amount. It was
Wow.
insane. So it was just paying interest for a long ass time.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoy that the next few months. And there's a lot of pressure in the finance community of like, well, what are you going to do with this time period? And do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Like, don't pay on your student loans or take advantage of the interest-free payments and pay a bunch on the principal. Invest your student loans if you feel inclined to do so, or just enjoy not the stress, like not having to stress over it.
Yeah,
Like, there's no right or wrong answer here.
for sure. There's just a couple extra months to do what you think is important or value.
Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
Another thing that I wanted to mention is that we are doing a $50 cash giveaway for the end of 2021.
Yep.
Our podcast has seen some exponential growth this year. We've like tripled in our downloads, and we just want to thank you. So in order to enter the giveaway, I want you to take a picture, like a little screenshot on your phone of your favorite episode that we've done in 2021 and share it on your Instagram stories and tag us. I will also be putting a post on Instagram with instructions as well. But think of your favorite episode that we've done and let us know which one that was, and then you'll be entered to win $50 cash money.
Yeah, beyond it being a nice giveaway for our listeners, it really does help us because it gives us good feedback as to what people really enjoyed
Yeah.
hearing us talk about, maybe a topic or a guest that we had, or, a particular moment that really resonated with them. And it kind of gives us this nice authentic feedback beyond like an Apple review or something like that. We can kind of, glean some ideas from what the listeners liked, and kind of focus group really what we want the episodes for 2022 to look like. So it's kind of a win-win for the giveaway. We get some great feedback and some great ideas of where we should take the podcast, and there's one lucky winner who gets a little bit of cash in their pocket to start the new year.
Yeah, I will be sending the money via Venmo. So in order to enter, you need to have a Venmo account. And the giveaway will close on January 5th. So you'll have a week to enter. I will be keeping track, and then we'll do a fun little spinny thingy that says there's a winner.
Yeah, plenty of time for those weekend listeners who, catch up all on their podcast on Saturday morning while cleaning the house.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, good luck. I can't wait to hear what people say is their favorite.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start off this whole entire 2021 extravaganza. We started the year with the debt-free 2021 poster. Then, like, what happened next? We had a huge, massive thing that happened.
Yeah, I mean, we posted our house for sale in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of a school year. Like, what? We decided we were going to be selling our home and moving. And so that we originally posted it in we finally went live in
Was it March 15th?
March. Yeah.
It just went
March.
by so fast. I don't even. That
Yeah.
was awful. If you're new here, go listen to our home sale. It was not fun.
Yeah, that was stressful. That's one way I would describe stress.
That's for sure. So we sold the house. We ended up walking with $207,000. Felt rich again for a second, and then we had to put things away. So we were responsible with what we did.
Yeah, we decided this time that we would actually do the right thing with
the-
money. It's so interesting though that we got to that point where we were going to be selling the house and moving. Obviously, we knew we were pregnant with Kennedy at the
You
time.
say we were pregnant. I mean,
You
I
were
was
pregnant, but
definitely pregnant.
excuse me, I played a part in this. Not obviously the in the sense that I certainly played a part in it, but just the fact that, I'm a very committed father and spouse.
You did. You waited on me hand and foot for a
I
long
try
time.
so hard. But, it's just so interesting thinking that that would have never been a thought in our minds. And that was hard. I really struggled with l- stepping away from my family and not being quite as close to them and, moving up here, where financially it made a little bit more sense
Yeah.
for us in the time. And that was really difficult. And I miss my family often, but they've been great and we've gotten to see them through the holidays and it's been a real treat. But that was something that at the start of the year was a really big jolt for us. And that
Mhm.
was a really big shakeup to what made 2021 what it was for us. And that was, right at the start of the year.
Yeah, that was huge. And every time I tell people that we paid off $132,000 in a year and a half, I mention, yeah, but we liquidated our assets. Like we literally sold anything we had that was valuable, including our house. That was the only reason we would have been here.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, maybe to that extent,
to
right?
the
But we
spirit. Well,
also were developing some really strong money habits that we've
right,
obviously carried over to today. It would not have been to the massive extent that it was,
exactly.
but we had made some really strong choices. Like our financial coach Ryan said, like you guys, you're going to be debt free a lot faster than you think because he could see the mindset changes that were happening with us, the never agains that we were, having.
Yeah, you're right. Like I do think we would have been here. It just definitely wouldn't have been that fast.
Yeah.
I think it would have still been several years down the road.
Mhm.
So that was huge. That
Mhm.
played a huge part in the mindset shift that we went through because I don't think I don't think we ever would have considered moving when we were just getting started.
Yeah.
That it seemed like, oh yeah, right, like that's never going to happen. And then we started thinking very creatively about how we could get to that end goal of becoming debt free because the end goal for us really was to be debt free.
Yeah.
And I want to mention that because it kind of shifted. So
Mhm.
it's interesting. So one thing we paid off was a big chunk of debt for our timeshare type of thingamajig that we have. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
But now we don't know anything on it and we get to go in June. Ooh, ooh,
Yeah,
ooh.
we'll be getting to actually enjoy going to use our vacation club points that we so immaturely purchased when we were drunk on our honeymoon.
You know, I'm going to put that on a poster this year. I'm going to say Cancun 2022
Yeah, I like that.
because it's happening. Manifesting it. All right. The next big thing, we had a baby.
Yes.
That was huge because that was one of the main reasons why we decided to move. You know,
Mhm.
childcare costs where we were living were just going to be through the roof. And now, because we're here, I'm able to work remotely and not have to pay for that. So it just was a lot that added to our family.
Mhm.
And it's kind of crazy because going from one to two feels like that was a lot of money shifts that happened. But now I feel like now that you have two, like it doesn't seem like it'd be that much more. And I've heard that from people when people are talking about like growing your family.
Mhm.
It's really expensive your first kid and then when you have another kid. But then after that, it's like you already have the big car, you already have the stroller, you already have all the expensive
Yeah,
stuff. So
seriously.
you're just adding an extra chair at the table.
Yeah, as long as you space out the times that you have them and don't have them, 3 under 3, you're probably pretty well set.
Oof, 3 under 3.
Yikes.
That would be hard.
Yeah, it would.
So another big giant thing was that I opened my first Roth, and I'm so excited to say that I maxed out my 2021 Roth.
Yeah, that
Woo-hoo!
was something we were really excited to do. You got started into your Roth IRA, and I transferred mine over from our credit union where we were from
Yeah,
to an advisor who we're now working with. Shout out our good friend David, formerly the budget teacher, one of my favorite podcasts. He was a high school math teacher who we really connected with. Just
yeah,
a tremendous, tremendous human being who not only is our financial advisor, but he's also a certified student loan professional, which is really great because he's helping me navigate public service loan forgiveness, which has been a real treat in the way that we look at long term wealth and money management. And so he's been a huge blessing. And I know that some people are like, oh, you don't need an advisor. You can do all this stuff, on your own through these apps. And that's great for some people because they really like to manage that. But personally, I know my habits and some of the ways that I get locked into certain things. I
Yeah.
have a tendency to be very kind of addictive in nature in some of those things. I think of like when I get locked into wanting to like gamble on football with my brother or something. You know what I mean? I get really locked into those things. And I think that some of the robo advisors would kind of be like that for me, where I'd be locked into looking at it and seeing it grow versus putting it with an advisor that we trust that puts together a portfolio that suits our risks
Yeah.
and our choices, and then getting the statements quarterly and seeing how it grows and stuff. So it was really cool for you to get to start your Roth with him, for me to transfer mine over, and for us to max out both of them for the fiscal year of 2021.
That was really cool. And to each their own. People are going to do their own thing with their advising or not to do advising. But I always say, I would not do my own taxes ever. Which is why we pay a tax person. Same reason. I do not want to handle my own investments, which is why we have an advisor. Some people are TurboTax all the way. They do it themselves. That works. Not for me. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah, and shout out to the people who really, again, people that enjoy it. They like going on the M1 Finance or doing. I don't know if you can do it on like Robinhood or I don't know,
I'm not totally
whatever
sure.
people use. Like, shout out to them for enjoying that and doing that, right? I just really like working with an advisor who can kind of talk me through some things and help me understand a little bit more. I'm still really new to this whole investment and financial idea.
And if you are someone who wants to DIY your investments and that's your thing, Chloe from Bear Money Coach, she just launched a I think she
It's
called
like
it
the
the
Lazy
Lazy
Investor course or something, yeah.
the Lazy Investors. So follow her on Instagram if you are interested in learning investments on your own to figure that out because it looks really cool. I'm not interested in being a lazy investor other than watching my advisor do it and me invest lazily from the side.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Another thing, a huge thing that we learned this year is the importance of just a safety barrier.
Yeah.
Sinking funds and emergency fund came in clutch this year.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a lot of things pop up that our sinking funds were a little bit easier to cover things, and our emergency fund was certainly able to take care of a couple emergencies we had. And it really just highlighted the fact that, with the home sale, we did the right thing this time around, making sure that we had those, classic rainy day funds to get you through the hard moments. And one of the really cool things is, reminding myself that we had a lot of those this year, and that's not typical. That's
Yeah.
not going to be every single year when we're going to have these, car troubles or the dog getting bit by the rattlesnake
Yeah.
and other things that come up with a move and having to, take care of new things here or old things at the house that we had to take care of before selling. Like, those things just don't happen every single year. So, did it happen this year? Yeah, but we had the emergency fund and sinking funds to take care of it, and we're much better off for it. And we're much better with our money, so we've actually been able to replenish our emergency fund going into 2022, which is
Yeah.
really awesome. Now it's just make sure our sinking funds get set back up.
Yeah, because the sinking funds are a bit depleted right now, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's why the money was there.
Yeah.
And as annoyed as I got every time something happened, and every time we had to transfer the money to cover something big, like it pissed me off. I would get really annoyed. But annoyed is one thing. Like we had the money to do it, and that's why it's there.
Yeah.
It's okay to have the feelings of like I don't want to spend this money. I want to hoard it in my bank and just keep all these sinking funds nice and cushy. But things happen, and it's really important to have something there. And if you aren't in a place to have maxed out sinking funds, an emergency fund is most definitely necessary.
Totally necessary.
Whatever the universe, God, whatever it is that kept us able for a year and a half on our debt-free journey to go with a $1,000 emergency fund without anything massive happening. That same whatever it was tested us this year.
Yeah.
Hardcore. And I feel like the temptation was everywhere we looked to fall back into debt. And it's okay that it was there because that's kind of what I feel like has shifted our mindset this year.
Yeah.
I'm now realizing that the end goal for me isn't necessarily to be completely debt free and have everything paid off. The end goal for me is to have peace with finances.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. I want to leave a legacy for our children. Maybe that means you do public student loan forgiveness and we do something else with your money. Maybe we choose to hold off on buying a house and we choose to rent for 10 years and do something else. Like, it's okay to
Mhm.
change your mind. And we changed our mind a lot this year. So we had hashtag debt-free 2021 written, and it's interesting because I don't really have that desire like I did before because that was literally all I wanted
Yeah.
before.
Well, it's really cool because we were talking at dinner tonight, like the idea that the net worth growing is so much more powerful long
Mhm.
term than the being debt free idea,
Mhm.
right? Now, yes, if you're carrying a ton of debt or like maxing out credit cards and struggling to pay them off, like that's going to be a problem in your finances. But we're in the middle of a global pandemic and the USA is not super great with our social structures. So I'm not going to slam anybody for having any type of like credit card debt that's difficult to manage right now, right?
Yeah.
But beyond that, like you can carry some debts and slowly pay them off over time. Now, if you're only making minimum payments, of course the interest is going to get to you. But how many people have we seen that have said like, "Yo, instead of not investing and only paying on my debts, I'm investing and making some payments on my debts because the interest payment is or the interest rate is so low."
Right.
Right? It's just identifying where do you see your values? What do you see as important? What are the interest rates like? Now, again, a 27% credit card or like car loan or something, no way. But a 5% student loan, is it worth it to be debt free instead of putting $12,000 into a Roth a year early?
Well, I've seen people have car loans that are 3%.
Yeah.
Like, that is not ruining you.
Mm-mm.
That is not a compound interest thing that is going to take over.
Yeah.
Student loans and credit cards are the things that really, really can affect you long term.
Mm-hmm.
And some people aren't turned off by that. Some
Mm-hmm.
people can confidently carry a small balance on their credit card and they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care if they have $1,000 or $5,000 of credit card debt. They think that's okay. That's normal. I'm not here to bash anyone for that.
Yeah.
And I feel like at the beginning of this year, there was a lot of judgment
Mm-hmm.
for anyone that had any sort of debt because my end goal was to be debt free and that was the only way to be.
Yeah.
So I know we mentioned Dave Ramsey all the freaking time on here, but that's a very pivotal part of our transformation
Mm-hmm.
and the mindset shift. Once
Yeah.
we stepped away from that, I feel like I was able to see, like, people are not bad. They're not bad people for doing these things. And we're not bad people for holding off on paying the student loans.
Yeah. I think it's Lexa from Avocado Toast Budget says, like, debt is morally neutral.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so many people are like, oh my God, you have debt? That's so bad. Right? And she often is like, wait a minute. Like, first off, that mindset is super trash, right? And super rooted in, like, some serious, like, classist ideas. But, like, it really is neutral. Like, this is a number. This is, like, money. This isn't moral or, like, ethics based. Now, if you're making choices that reflect your ethics or your morals and they have to do with money, that might be a problem. But like debt in and of itself is not inherently a bad thing. It's just, like the ways you manage it and stuff. So you're right. That was such a important piece of early 2021 for us was changing that mindset and getting out of the DR like space of debt is so bad and people who have debt are never going to get ahead and
Yeah.
stuff. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Big changes.
Big changes
All
for
right,
sure.
my one last plug. Can
Yeah.
I go?
Yeah.
Okay. The biggest thing for me this year has been that I started my business. And
Hold on. Can we just like celebrate that for a minute?
No, I'm about to celebrate
Dude.
myself. Hang on. Like, I started my business and it went so like I had this idea for a while and I didn't really do anything with it and you were like, "Go now." You really lit the fire under my ass to get it started. Thank you very much.
I got you
But
back.
in a nice way. You gave me the push that I needed.
Mm-hmm.
And you believed in me so much. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you, so thank you.
Okay, pause. You're celebrating me right now. Don't celebrate me. Celebrate you, dude.
Okay.
You freaking started an LLC on your own. You don't have a business degree. You didn't go to school for business. Like that takes work and that takes learning. And you did that while having 2 kids, one of which was 18 months old, the other one which was legit a newborn. Like, you started this in August?
Yeah, August
So we
1st.
had a 2-month-old and a 20-month-old. Like, people say all the time, they're like, whoa, you guys are busy. Like, I don't know how you guys do it. And I'm like, dude, it's because of Haley. Like, 2 kids in the house with you, and you started a business. And it's not like your business was like, oh, I'm starting a business and, like, support me. It was like, I'm starting a business and it's like 0 to 100 fast.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really fast.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're crushing it.
Thank you. I have had they wrote on Instagram saying they want some behind the scenes stuff on my business. So I'm going to give you guys some stats right now. But to date, I've had 22 clients, which
Sick.
means I keep reminding myself I am actively participating and helping people change their lives. 22 people and families is a lot.
Yeah.
And I can't even imagine what 2022 is going to bring.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so exciting. I said 20 people was going to be my max client load, and I'm there not even 6 months later.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Thank you to all of my clients. You guys are awesome. And I didn't quite make $10,000 yet, but I made let's see.
$8,666.
Oh my god, you remembered.
I
Yeah.
remembered it.
I've made $8,600, and I think that's pretty cool. I have a profiting business.
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself. My clients are kicking ass. They just surpassed $100,000 of debt payoff since August.
That's so dope.
And I haven't even finished getting their numbers for December.
That's so dope.
So it's really cool to be in a place financially where I can work from home and have this business. I don't need to make much money to pay our bills. I only need to technically make and contribute like $1,000 a month. So anything extra can go towards replenishing sinking funds or whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
Business funds. And it's just so exciting to be in a place where I can do that. Because I wouldn't have been able to do this if we stayed in Santa Rosa.
Yeah. We wouldn't have had the supports or the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I really like is just seeing you fulfilled. I know how much being a teacher was important to you,
Yeah.
and you had a lot of identity wrapped into the good work you were doing. But it's so cool because you're still a teacher, and we've said that from the beginning. Like, you still are someone who's doing teaching. It's just in a different space with a different content with a different learner, and it's so cool because I just see you fulfilled. I get to see you come out of your meetings just so overjoyed. I get to see you working on your business in here, or you being like, oh, I stayed up super late getting so much work done, and this was so effective. And it's just so great because it's working for you, and it's filling your soul up. And I was so worried that with a second kid that your entire identity would be Haley the mom. And I love Haley the mom. You know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's so much to life beyond that, and I get to leave the house and be somebody else. I get to be Mr. Brownwoods for 7 hours a day with 60 sixth graders, right? You haven't had that. So you get to be Haley the financial coach. That's not just mommy who's getting lunch or getting food or changing diapers and stuff. And so it's so cool to see because on top of that, your clients are having success.
Yeah.
And that's really, really encouraging. And I know that as much as you are proud of them and hyping them up, I truly believe that in their hearts, you're making a difference and that you matter to them. That's cool.
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool to watch people get so excited about paying off their debt. And I have realized over the last 2 months, okay, that's my niche.
Yeah.
That is who I want to teach. That is who I want to coach. I want to help people get to the other side.
Yeah.
It is so cool to pay $1,000 on a credit card. It is so cool to watch my clients say, oh my God, I finally have money for Christmas this year, and I didn't have to put it on a credit card. They just get so excited, and I remember that. I feel it in my soul. I remember it so deeply, and I cannot wait to see them on the other side. So that is who I want to coach forever.
Yeah.
Love it. If you have debt and you need help, please reach out because this literally makes me so happy.
Yeah. Or if you have friends who are
Yeah.
in debt and struggling, reach out. There's excitement and promise and hope on the other side, and it doesn't take a lot. It just takes a few mindset changes and you can get there. And we are literally living proof of that.
Yeah.
So if anybody's like, "Oh, I don't know," it's like, "Well, let's talk about our story."
Yeah.
Listen to what we've been through. And obviously we had some luck and some supports and some help along the way, but a lot of it was because of mindset shift.
Totally.
And I think others can get there.
Some of the questions people have asked me on Instagram about my business are like, what was the coolest thing that has happened? And I've had a few, but the coolest thing that I think has happened was I've had people sign up that I don't know.
Mhm.
I've had strangers have consults with me and end up signing up, and I'm like, wait, how did you even hear about me? They don't even listen to our podcast. They don't even follow me on Instagram. They don't even know me. They just were referred by someone who heard of me or something. And that is so cool to hear it like spreading through the world that way. It's not just through Toasties listening or people on Instagram.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel like, okay, this is going somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. It's really really exciting, and I think that there's just only fulfillment and joy on the horizon.
I'm super excited for 2022.
Yeah.
For all that is to come, not just my business, but our finances, our wealth building. We do have a really huge thing coming up that I'm not going to say anything about, but I want to get you guys excited that there's something coming in like January or February your way with a big thing coming.
Yeah.
A big thing. Get excited about the thing.
There's something in the works. It's so exciting.
And
I'm like itching.
this is Justin's thing.
It's my baby. It's like my thing. It's so exciting.
And yeah, you would not guess.
No.
You can try to guess, but I'm not going to spill the beans. I'm just getting you all excited. There's the thing in the works, and Justin can't wait. He's about to burst. Although I just like really want to make good content out of talking about this thing, but I'm not going to yet.
We
I'll
will.
shut up.
I think once we finally announce
Once we unleash the beast.
Yeah, once we unleash the beast to the Toasties and have an episode about all that's going on, I think that it's going to be really exciting.
It's going to be very exciting.
Yeah.
All I can say is 2022 is about to be lit. I have a
Very
client
lit.
who says that. It makes me laugh because I don't ever say that. But 2022 is about to be lit. It is not hashtag 2020 or hashtag debt-free 2021 anymore. It's okay to change your mindset. It's okay to change over time and evolve. That's the whole point of life.
Yeah.
Learning, living and learning and adjusting as you go.
Yeah.
You know? And recognize when you're wrong and grow from it.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want that fills your soul. Anyway, I'm done here.
Yeah, 2022 is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. We want to wish everybody a happy and a safe new year. We're so
Yeah.
thankful for all of your support throughout 2021, and we're so excited to share our 2022 with you and to hear about everything wonderful going on in your world and your family's world, because we could not have made it through 2021 without like the awesome community of listeners and people that I would consider friends.
Genuine
Right?
friend.
Like you have said, like there's people that like if we wanted to go to Chicago, we're staying in their house. If we want to go to upstate New York, we could stay in their house. If we want to like crush it down to Florida, we could probably stay with Mimi from Meadow Sweet Money. Like there's just so many people that we could totally go and visit because like I genuinely would consider them a friend. And I know that they actually like care about us as much as we care about them,
Yeah.
which is cool.
It's really cool to have a community of people that lift us up
Yeah.
because you guys we cheer for each other and I hope we win, but you guys like really hope we win. And that makes us so excited to just have people in our corner like that.
It reminds me that we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like one of those like silent like supporters of like, okay, wait, like I'm doing this life thing right, or I'm doing this like be a good person thing right. So it's really encouraging.
All right, guys, I want to remind you, please participate in our giveaway because, you know, who doesn't want $50 to start off the new year? It'll give you, you know, whatever you want to buy $50 with.
Yeah, buy that, first month gym membership, or buy the, I don't know, couple cases of Krispy Kremes and breakfast burritos because you deserve it.
Or a quarter of the tank of gas if you live in California and drive a Suburban.
Yeah.
But in order to participate, please go scroll back into 2021, take a screenshot of your favorite episode, share it on your Instagram stories, and please tag us or else we won't know that it happened.
Yes,
It's very
please do.
important. Tag us. All right, guys, you're awesome. Toasties rock till the end of time. Thanks for another awesome year.
Woo! Happy New Year, everybody. That's going to do it for this episode of Price of Avocado Toast. As always, we're so thankful to have had this conversation with you and so grateful to be part of this community that is leaving 2021 behind.
Let's go.
Happy budgeting.
You've got this, Toasties.
Thanks for listening to the Price of Avocado Toast. If you vibed with this episode, share it with a friend that you're comfortable having money talks with. And if you don't mind, we'd love if you could rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
If you're in need of my support as a financial coach, message me on Instagram. I'd love to help in any way that I can. Until next time.